Hello Year 3, welcome to another maths lesson. Today's date is the 18th of the 1st, 2021, and our learning objective today is to multiply a 2-digit number by a 1-digit number. We're going to have a look at this in focus task first, and then we'll have a look at some different ways that we can solve this problem. And then we'll go through our guided practice together, looking at a method to answer some questions before you complete your questions on your assignment as a quiz. So we've got these boxes of donuts, and it's asking how many donuts are there in 4 boxes. So what I'd like you to do, please, Year 3, is see if you can answer this question and think about a couple of ways of showing this in a different way. You don't have to write this down at the moment, I just want you to have a think. So pause the video here and see if you can come up with a couple of different ways. So here you can see that these 4 boxes along the top combined makes one big box of chocolate donuts. If we have a look at this first box in the top left hand side, of which all of the top 3 boxes that are left are the same, I can see that there are 12 donuts in there because there are 6 in each row and there are 2 rows, which makes 12. So here I've got a calculation of 12 multiplied by 4, and that gives me a total of 48. So I know that because I'm happy with my 12 times tables: 12, 24, 36, 48. I could also do it in my 4 times tables, but there's a couple of different ways that we could look to do this that we're going to explore as well. We could use repeated addition. We could say that 12 add 12 add 12 add 12 equals 48. And if we were to do that as a column addition, we would have the same answer as 48. And then we could answer that there are 48 donuts in 4 boxes. Our second method involves multiplying 12 by 4, which is what we did initially. But here we're going to break down the steps that you need in order to be able to do it a little bit more efficiently, or perhaps a little bit more easily. So step 1 includes multiplying the ones by 4. So here at the top we've got 12. We've got 1 10 and we've got 2 ones. 2 ones multiplied by 4 equals 8 ones. So 2 ones, so we've got 2 of these, multiplied by 4 equals 8 ones. We haven't done anything with the tens yet, we've just multiplied the ones. If we then look at multiplying the tens by 4, we know that we have got 110 multiplied by 4, which gives me 4 tens. So we now know that we've got 4 tens. 2 ones times 4 equals 8. This is step 3. 110 multiplied by 4 equals 40, and 12 multiplied by 4 equals 8. If we then add the 40 and the 8, we get a total of 48. So it gets the same answer, that there are 48 donuts in 4 boxes. Just to show this in another way, we can see that this has been partitioned. We can see that the number 12 has been partitioned into its tens, that there is 1 10, and into its ones, that there are 2 ones. Multiplied by 4 is the same as saying that we are doing 10 multiplied by 4 and 2 multiplied by 4, and then adding them together. And if we were doing this using a column multiplication method, it would look something like this. So we would do 12 multiplied by 4. We would draw a neater line than this underneath, and we would say 2 multiplied by 4 gives me 8. And then if we were to look at 1 multiplied by 4, but it's not 1 because my 1 here is in my tens column, so it's going to be 10 multiplied by 4 gives me 40. And then I would do column addition to add these 2 numbers together, which I can't fit in here, but it gives me 48. So here is our guided practice, and we're going to have a look at the same method that we've just looked at to work out the answer. So the first one is 20 multiplied by 8. So if we're looking at the number of ones that we've got, I can't actually multiply ones because I haven't got any, I'm missing any. So we're going to go straight for the tens. So here I've got 2 tens and I need to multiply it by 8. So 2 multiplied by 8 gives me an answer of 16. And because I know that 20 is 10 times greater than 2, I need to multiply my answer by 10. So that means that my answer is going to be 160. So remember, when we're answering this question with the method that we're using here, we need to remember that if we're just multiplying a 10 by a single digit, we must remember that the 10 is 10 times as big as 1. So for example, if I were to imagine that this 0 was crossed out, 2 times 8 gives me 16, but I know that it's 20 times 8, not 2 times 8, so I need to multiply that answer by 10, because 2 multiplied by 10 is 20. Let's look at question 2 now. Question 2 is 21 multiplied by 8. So the first thing I can look at is multiply my ones by 8. 1 multiplied by 8 gives me 8. So I know that my ones digit is going to be an 8. And then here I'm looking again at 2 multiplied by 8. So 2 multiplied by 8, I already know from up here, is 16. And actually for this, I'm just going to be able to add the 1 and 6 digits in there, because I already know then that my answer is going to be correct, because it's one lot of 8 more than my previous answer. So 160 add 8 is going to be 168. So with this one, I've been able to use my knowledge of the answer from before to be able to help me to answer this question. And that's not always going to be possible, but sometimes you can use numbers that you're familiar with and answers that you're definitely sure are right to then be able to work out the answers to questions that you're not so familiar with. So that's always a useful tip for you to think about. So let's have a look at number 3 together. We've got 43 multiplied by 2. So 43, I know that I've got 3 here multiplied by 2. 3 times 2 equals 6. So 3 times 2 is equal to 6. Then I've got 4 times 2, or 40 times 2. So 40 multiplied by 2, I know is going to give me 80. And again, I could do 4 multiplied by 2, which is 8, and then multiply the answer by 10, which again would give me 80. I need to add these two numbers together, so it gives me an answer of, I'm just going to rub these out, it gives me an answer of 86. So then when I write 86 in, I know that that is the correct answer based on the calculations I've just done. Here, question 4, we've got 21 multiplied by 4. Let's see if I can get you to pause the video here. I want you to see if you can do this one on your own using the method that we've just done for the previous 3 before we go through it. So if we have a look at this one, 21 multiplied by 4, 1 multiplied by 4 is 4, and then 20 multiplied by 4 is 80, but I'm not going to write 80 because I already know that 80 add my 4 is 84, so that's my answer for that one. If I'd put 80 and then put 4, actually have a look at my answer, it's 804, which it cannot be because it is not a big enough number, 21 multiplied by 4, to get 804. So I do need to be careful and make sure that I'm writing my work carefully and checking it when I've done it. Next one here is 32 multiplied by 3. Again, I want you to pause the video and see if you can answer this one on your own. And hopefully you've had a chance to answer this one. So 32 multiplied by 3, 2 times 3 equals 6. 30 times 3, I don't know 30 times table off by heart, or my 3 times table up to 30, so I'm going to say 3 times 3, which gives me 9, and 30 is 10 times as big, so it must be 90. So I'm going to add these two numbers together, 90 and 6, so the answer is 96. So hopefully that method has helped you in order to be able to answer these 2-digit by 1-digit multiplications. What I want you to do now is I want you to head over to your assignment on Teams, or the questions will also be available on the website for you to have a look at, and I want you to see if you can complete those. I'm going to just go through the challenge on here should you finish, and there's a challenge waiting for you. So today's challenge is that Mr. Forster says that 12 multiplied by 8 has an answer of 16 add 8, which equals 24. Unfortunately, he's not quite right, but I want you to explain how he is wrong and why, and I want you to show me the correct answer. That's your challenge for today, is to explain why Mr. Forster isn't quite right with his answer and to show me why. Thank you very much, Year 3. I look forward to seeing your work, and enjoy the rest of your week.